Hi everybody, so I've played quite a few rounds of Warzone 2.0 and I think it's time for my first impressions review. Actually, probably the only review I'll do of Warzone 2.0 because of course it's free and you can download it and play it for free on Xbox, PlayStation and PC. And I guess, yeah, the headline for me is that, you know, the COD version of Battle Royale it's back to its best with Al Mazrah. You know, this is Verdansk continued. So overall on my Xbox Series S and on my PC it runs lovely and smoothly, and I kind of say this because Caldera, the Battle Royale version of Warzone that we got with Vanguard, didn't run very well at all, and we had so much popping, it looked terrible. Now the sound is better in Warzone 2 rather than Warzone 1 because we're running on the Modern Warfare 2 engine now, and so I don't think the 3D sound is quite as good as something like Call of Duty Black Ops, but it's better. I'm pretty sure I can tell if something's above or below me now, where you definitely couldn't do that in Modern Warfare 2019 and of course Modern Warfare Warzone, the first version. What I'm really enjoying about Warzone 2 is that the game, especially in solos, is really nice and quiet. There's not that many events popping off. Now, this is probably only going to be true for the first couple of seasons of Warzone 2, and then we'll start seeing things like lots of fire sales and jailbreaks and supply drops coming in. But for now, it's almost a PUBG level of quietness. Now there are plenty of missions that you can do when you drop in. You know, you can find these little, I think they're little radios that you pick up, and it'll say, okay, so find this laptop and then take it to this place and upload this information. Or I guess there'll be contracts as well for killing other players as well. But you know, you can choose to do them. It's not like you're constantly getting this trash noise going on all the time like you would with Caldera. I'm also really enjoying the fact that there is a much less reliance on your multiplayer loadout. What used to happen in Warzone 1, if you weren't familiar, is that I'm going to say it was after 13 minutes, a loadout drop would come in near your position, and in that loadout drop, you could basically take up your loadout from the multiplayer. So you could have, you know, a overkill loadout drop with your choice of primary, your choice of secondary, your perks as well, and your lethals, which was kind of okay in the fact that if you had the multiplayer, it was good because you could upgrade the guns and level them up and have a really nice gun in Warzone. But it wasn't so great for people who were only playing Warzone. It also meant you normally didn't really play around with the ground loot that much, but in this game, the ground loot weapons, you're much more likely to have them. Now you can buy your primary weapon at buy stations, and in the loadout drops, you'll see, you know, you can have one of your primary weapons, but you're not getting your whole loadout, you know, with your secondary and your throwables, your tacticals, your lethals, and that sort of stuff, and especially not perks, and that's very interesting, not having perks. So that means, you know, we don't have things like cold-blooded, and you don't have things like ghost that you can have equipped. So everybody is going to appear on a UAV. Everybody's going to be in that heartbeat sensor, and you know, I'm liking that. That's going much more towards a PUBG type of battle royale than towards, you know, an original Warzone or something like Apex as well. They've added a little bit more complexity in the fact that we now have different size backpacks that we can have on, and these backpacks mean that you can carry a lot more armor or meds, or even you can carry with the biggest backpack, you can carry a third weapon. So you can have an SMG, AR, and a sniper rifle if you want, or maybe I guess a launch or something like that. And I like the fact that you can pick up lots and lots of armor because it means that you're at a less of a disadvantage if you like engaging in gunfights. So traditionally what happens in a battle royale, this happens in PUBG and Warzone as well, is that if in the final stages of the game you're engaging in lots of gunfights, fighting lots of players, but you're burning through your armour, you know, your armour plates, you then have to risk going to a buy station to get some more. But this way you can have sort of 9, 12 You know, you could even have like 15 armor plates on your player that you could keep reusing. Well, not reusing. Keep filling up your armor with, which is really good. It also means you then don't have to bother looting players. We can carry more ammo as well. So that's pretty cool. Just be careful, obviously, in the late stages. Looting now is a little bit more complicated because instead of everything just exploding onto the ground around someone's body, now there's like a backpack that you've got to look in. A bit like in PUBG. One thing that I'm kind of on the fence about at the moment is the new vests. So you can have a level 2 vest with 2 plates, or level 3 vest. I don't know if there's a level 1 vest as well. And the problem I have with that is that the vest then becomes a crutch that you must have a level 3 vest. For example, I just died in a game where it was probably a 50-50 gunfight. Pretty sure we both started firing at each other at the same time. We both were using SMGs, and the other guy won because he had a level 3 vest with 3 plates of armor, and I only had 2, and that's why I lost. And it's like, But I guess what you've got to do is you have to recognise that, and then you have to realise that you need to be pushing around the map to complete objectives to get enough money to be able to buy a level 3 vest, with 3 plates in it. The map itself, Al Mazrah, is very Verdansk-like. There's some open areas, there's some really cool built-up city and urban areas, but obviously it's set in a Middle Eastern rather than an Eastern European location. I guess you could argue that Al Mazrah doesn't have the same character of Verdansk, but I'm sure that will change as we get to really know the map, in the way that, if you said airport, or if you said boneyard, or so things like Gulag, you could probably, if you've played Warzone 1, you'd see those in your mind's eye and go, oh right, yeah, I know where that is, where that doesn't really apply in Al Mazrah yet. So I guess what I'm really pleased about Warzone 2 is that it is a good, solid battle royale where strategies and tactics will get you into a top 10 position. And if you play enough games, that means then you'll probably go on to win one of those games. If the other random stuff's with you, is the circle with you, that kind of thing. Now, it might kind of sound a bit like there's a but coming along in this kind of review, and I guess there is a little bit of a but, because overall I'm really pleased with Warzone 2, but I can't help but think that this is where Warzone should have been when Vanguard and Caldera released. Instead of Caldera, this is what we should have had replacing Verdansk. And I felt that really what happened was that with Caldera, Warzone took 2 steps back. And then with Al Mazrah that we've got with Modern Warfare 2 2022, it's taken 2.5 steps forward. We've got some really nice quality of life changes, but there's nothing dramatic. And there's been no real wow moment with the release of 2.0. It's just it's more just like a sigh of relief that Warzone's actually fun to play again. Just like, they haven't cocked it up. I mean, I definitely could say that this is slightly better than Warzone 1. But it's not like really wow. So what could have made it a wow experience? Well, I think they could have gone down the PUBG route, I think, a little bit. And the fact that you have these small incremental improvements like the backpack system, different way of looting, improved sound engine, that sort of thing. But I think the population who play Warzone, I definitely think that could support a multi-map game. And I would have loved to seen with Warzone 2 the return of Verdansk, the return of Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep, and even have Caldera. Maybe take Caldera away, take it away for 6 months or 3 months and rework it, make it playable, especially for last gen consoles, and then have them all come back. And you could do it just like PUBG. So your featured map would be Al Mazrah. So when you get into that playlist, you just play Al Mazrah all the time, and then you have your legacy playlist, which is Verdansk, maybe Verdansk 84, I think that was the other version of it, wasn't it? Rebirth Island and Fortune's Keep, and Caldera. And I think that would have been really, really cool, even if in those other modes it was only, say, quads and solos or something like that. And I think that would have been a real wow moment, especially maybe if they'd reworked the maps a little bit to introduce some of the quality of life improvements that we've seen on Mazrah. Now you can imagine playing Verdansk with this engine. So as it is though, I think that Warzone 2 is a really great Call of Duty Battle Royale, and I also think it will probably appeal more to PUBG style Battle Royale players than Apex or Fortnite, and of course it's free. And you know, you've just got to ask yourself, you know, is this what I want to spend my time doing? You know, and do you maybe have a group of friends who enjoy playing Warzone? And I think if you do, and they enjoyed Warzone did I say Vikendi earlier on? Did I? On Verdansk. If they enjoyed Verdansk, they will definitely enjoy this because it plays in a very, very similar way. And if the answer to that is yes, then I think you're really going to love this. I'd also say make sure you check out the DMZ mode as well, because that is a lot of fun. Imagine jumping into the Mazrah map, but without having the pressure of the circle coming in, and we're basically having a lot of AI on there and a few enemy players, but not many, and then running around and just doing the missions, just doing the you know, find this laptop and upload the information, you know, find this thing and get it to here, that sort of stuff. And that's basically what DMZ is, and it's a load of fun without the extra pressure and without the sweatiness of Battle Royale. So there we go. So it's a big relief that Warzone 2 isn't terrible. It's a big relief that Warzone 2 is slightly better, I think, than Warzone 1, and I think that Mazrah is a very good map. I think it's up there with the likes of Verdansk, and I'm looking forward to playing it. Will I be playing lots of it? I'm not quite sure. I don't know. The problem I have is obviously I work full time and I make an awful lot of YouTube content, and Warzone matches, you know, they take 20 minutes, they take a half hour. That's a big chunk out of my day. So I guess, I mean, if I was doing this full time, oh yeah, I would be playing a lot more Warzone, I'd be playing a lot more PUBG, I'd be playing a load more DayZ as well. But anyway, check it out for yourself. If you enjoyed Warzone 1 on Verdansk, I'm sure you'll enjoy Warzone 2, because it's very, very similar. Anyway, what do you think? Put your questions and comments down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. And I will, of course, see you again soon.